Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ramani and welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism and narcissistic relationships and healing from narcissistic relationships. So here's a question. What do you think narcissistic people do once they lose control of you? Drop your answers in the comments. I think some of you already know the answer to this because you're living it. The primary dynamics that drive a narcissistic person in a relationship are power, control, and domination. And the narcissistic person uses the relationship as a source of validation. If those needs are not being met or cannot be achieved, that is a contributor to the volatility of these relationships. So, if you are in a relationship with a narcissistic person and do get more power or control or exert your autonomy, the narcissistic person is going to react badly. So here's some examples of this. One could be that you're the adult child of a narcissistic parent and you no longer need them for money or housing, or you make your own way in the world and they were using money to control you. You are in a narcissistic relationship and you get a promotion or a new job that may put you in a more powerful or well-paid position. Or you leave an abusive, tyrannical, narcissistic boss to take another job or start your own venture where they cannot control you in the day-to-day anymore. The responses to this can vary. In some cases, you will see the narcissistic person try to keep you small, tell you that you're probably going to fail, or that you're kidding yourself if you think you will be able to pull this new thing off, or that this success of yours is temporary or fleeting, or that you better be careful what you wish for because it may all be a big disappointment and won't you feel foolish when it all falls apart. In some cases, you will see that vulnerable victimization we so often see in narcissism. Oh, woe is me, will say the narcissist. Everything goes your way. I guess you won't need me anymore. I guess my life has just been so unlucky. Things come really easily to you. I always have to work hard for everything I get. That kind of thing. In other cases, you may experience abandonment. They may want to leave, say they want to leave the relationship and cut you off, give you the silent treatment, or even imply that maybe this relationship won't work because you will be so busy in your new job. Or they may go full on revenge on you. This may be, for example, a smear campaign by that tyrannical boss who tries to badmouth you and badmouth your new endeavor, or talking with other people about you and saying bad things, or holding back on a piece of information that you may need. They will actively try to sabotage you. Remember what healing is about in these relationships. Finally crawling out of the subjugated space that you had to remain in to keep this relationship going. Silencing yourself, making yourself smaller, pretty much clipping your own wings, not individuating or developing your own autonomy of any kind. But healing also means, as you individuate, that you will incur the wrath, displeasure, or frank abandonment by the narcissist. Your growth is not something that the narcissistic person can tolerate, especially because it means they're going to lose their power and their control. So when you slowly slip out of their control, you become an object of contempt. You stop being supply. You're a headache. And they want to put you back in your subjugated place. They want you in the service of their ego, not growing as an individual yourself. Narcissistic people do not like relationships that they cannot control, which is often why they are so focused on getting into leadership positions. By being in charge, they can control. And that could be everything from being the shift manager at a fast food restaurant to the CEO of a corporation. It's all about control. Might be small scale, might be big scale, but it's control. When a narcissistic person senses that they are losing control of you, you can expect this entire litany of reactions, and they may shapeshift and shift strategies too. Some vindictiveness, then victimhood, then abandonment. It can be a painful realization and a difficult part of healing that your growth, your advancement, your aspiration, you simply becoming you, was never going to be allowed in this relationship. You may have suspected it, but when it really happens, you see it. Many people who are very trauma bonded in these relationships know that the implicit message is that if you grow, they will leave. And the fears that go along with it means that many people in narcissistic relationships have shrunk themselves for years to make it work. Because no, they will be pissed off, and then they will continue to berate you or abandon you if you dare ever get out of their controlling grip. There's no room for two people's realities in a narcissistic relationship. Always keep that in mind. These relationships work as long as they can dominate and control you. And once you challenge that dynamic, it cannot work. So the short answer to that is they will blow up or they will leave. But that idea of either facing the rage or facing the abandonment is so overwhelming for so many people in a narcissistic relationship that even though it's not intentional, that you may find yourself holding yourself back and not expanding yourself to all the full potential that you have because of that fear and because the narcissistic person will not lose control of you, and you might feel too scared of what will happen if you did. My only hope for you someday is that you do. Thanks again.